following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA network and our review show here of AEW Double or Nothing 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Karlifornia. This is Juicy Boy. What is going on, my friend?
What is going on with you, my friend? I'm asking you now. Tables have turned. I'm the host. Checkmate.
I'm pissed off.
Me too. I'm disgusted.
I've had a fucking bad last few hours. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, let's not even waste time. Let's get into why. I'm gonna say right here at the top of this review, this show was disgustingly overlong. Like, this was overstuffed. This outstayed its welcome about 3 times over, and it could have had about 65% cut out of it, which would have made it a more palatable length, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll get into it, I'm sure. Let's kick into it here.
13 fucking matches, bro. 13 matches, including the one on the buy-in. You could have thrown 2 of these matches that were on the actual pay-per-view on the fucking buy-in, and I will get to that when I get to them, bro. But did you watch the buy-in? I assume not, because you're smart.
No.
I watched the one match that was on there. I skipped ahead just to see what was going to happen here. It was only a 10-minute affair. Mark Sterling teaming with Tony Nese against Danhausen and Hook. It was the first time I saw Danhausen wrestle. There was a spot with Sterling tripping on the ropes and hitting his nose on the mattress, and the camera didn't shoot it. Another thing, Hook is still green. I don't really get the hype. It's quite clear that Tony Nese had to do a lot of work to ensure that Hook looked like he knew what he was doing. He's a good-looking kid, though. I'm sure he has a lot of promise and talent. I'm sure he'll be something someday. But, you know, it's just a little bit of overhype as per usual from the AEW fan base. It was just a bit of fun, I suppose. There was nothing offensive with this matchup. Obviously, Danhausen and Hook won the fucking match. I mean, as if they were going to lose their first match together. And it's just continuing the story of them being an odd couple teaming together, which, in my opinion, doesn't really make any sense anyway, because I thought Team Taz were a bunch of heels. Anyway, let's get to the show, Juicy Boy. Double or Nothing begins, and the first matchup on the show is MJF against Wardlow. The match that had the longest build-up. This is years of build-up, and this is what we got from it. I'm going to let you take the floor here, bro. What did you think of MJF against Wardlow? Wardlow wins. He is freed from MJF, and he becomes all elite.
Yeah, I actually thought that in terms of things being built up, executed, and paid off, this is one of the best things AEW has ever done, because they kept this thing short, they kept it sweet, they did a classic heel versus babyface thing with MJF being the smarmy, dickheady heel, and Wardlow being the up-and-coming, young, Herculean babyface. You know, MJF is just a natural-born star. It oozes on, from every pore in him. His entrance, he was a star. Wardlow was elevated to looking like a star thanks to MJF in this match, and thanks to him carrying his part of it. If it were up to me to nitpick here, I'd have gone with 10 power bombs instead of a dozen. I think that a dozen power bombs was a little bit too much for my taste. I think the same idea would have been put across with 9 or 10 power bombs, maybe 10 to make it an even amount. But yeah, I thought that this was really well done for what it was supposed to be. Clearly more of a transitional match for both of these two talents going forward. I'd have given it probably a C-.
Interesting thoughts there, bro. One thought I had when MJF came out was I would have had MJF lay down and try and ruin this big star making moment for Wardlow, just being like, just pin me, and you'll be free. It's okay, just pin me. And maybe he could have swerved a little bit there, but I just thought it might have been interesting for everyone wants to see Wardlow kick MJF's ass. MJF knows he's backed into a corner at this point. He knows that there's no way he's going to be able to fucking beat this monster. So I just thought it might have been interesting for him to put Wardlow in that situation of, after all this build up, this is what's going to happen. I'm just going to cover you. That was just a thought in my head. Whether it's a good idea or not, I don't know, but it was just an idea. People are comparing this to Triple H and Batista. And I think to myself, no, because MJF is still 24, 25 years old. He hasn't even won the world title yet.
When AEW began, MJF was most well known for MLW. So that's the status of performer that he was going into AEW. Now it's 3 years in. Now he's a big star. If anything, MJF is now in the position that a younger Batista was at this point in his career, a few years in. That this has no fair comparison to be made. But I don't even want to talk about that. It's just going to get me on.
I'm going to talk about it because I wanted to make a point about it, because Triple H, at that point of his career, multiple world title reigns. Evolution had been around for several years, and they actually got seen together and did shit together, whereas the Pinnacle, you barely even fucking saw that group together whatsoever. So as far as I'm concerned, MJF hasn't even won a world title at this point. So to make that comparison is fucking ridiculous, and it's just completely off fucking base. And I'm noticing with some AEW fans on Twitter that they're starting to get themselves ready, knowing that MJF probably going to leave one day. So they're starting to say those things like, "Oh, he isn't really that good in the ring anyway," and it's a bunch of bullshit, because that match with Darby Allin and the fucking dog collar match with Punk both fucking killed it. I love the spot with the ring and getting caught by the referee and Wardlow. I wanted something to happen, and I just thought to myself, if Wardlow just wins after a bunch of power bombs, I'll be fucked off. And despite the fact that you liked the way that this thing went, bro, I really wanted something to happen where I could see Wardlow in a position where he really needed to fight back. And I wanted to see MJF use his smarts to get at least make it seem like there's an opportunity or a possibility that he could actually beat Wardlow here. But either way, it's not that offensive. I just wasn't really big on the way that it went, because it was a foregone conclusion. We knew Wardlow was winning this because of the stipulation. There's no way he was going to be stuck with MJF going forward. There's just no way. Let's move forward, bro. The Young Bucks against the Hardy Boys. I'll take it here with my notes. I really hoped going into this that the Hardys were going to ensure that the Young Bucks don't fuck around too much, and this was going to be something all right. Never been the biggest fan of the Young Bucks. I didn't like the start with the Delete Elite stuff. I thought that was hokey. I don't know who that guy was that was on commentary. I just wrote, who the fuck is this guy? I don't know. I guess he has some sort of past with the Hardys. I couldn't catch his name. I probably should have checked before I started recording this with you. Nick Jackson repeated Mark Sterling's spot from the buy-in where he tripped on the rope and hit his nose on the mat. Remember the rule of one. What someone does one thing, then it doesn't happen the rest of the show. Of course, and I also mean super kicks when I fucking say that to about 75% of the roster. There wasn't a bad start to the proceedings of this match, although Nick Jackson's whisper in the wind wasn't set up properly. Jeff Hardy's fucking boot falls off, or nearly falls off. And then it looked like Jeff might have got knocked a bit silly as Nick Jackson went for a shoulder to the gut from the ring apron, and Jeff was nowhere near him and still sold it. It was just such a messy show with some of these botches. One thing, I'll admit it, I don't get the Young Bucks. I don't get the hype. I think they are fucking sloppy. Honestly, I think they're fucking sloppy. I haven't seen them have a real fucking crisp tag match in a while. I just think that they're very hit or miss. Sometimes they're all right, but sometimes I think they're fuking sloppy.
If they've got the right opponent, it's going to probably be, pretty good. But if they don't have the right...
FTR maybe, but, it was cool seeing them hit the Twist of Fate and the Swanton. But then there's a This Is Awesome chant, which I thought was very undeserved, because I just don't think that this thing really kicked into high gear. I was a little disappointed in this, to be honest with you. The Hardys kept on letting them kick them in the fucking head. Just on their knees, just copying these fucking straight kicks to the fucking head. I thought that was dumb. I'm in a bad mood. I'm sorry, everybody. There was a twist of fate right after Jeff hit the swanton onto one of the Young Bucks on top of the stairs. And then there was a twist of fate right after that. I thought that should have been the finish.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually we, fuck around for a little bit more and we get the actual finish of the match. The Hardys go over. The right team won as far as I'm concerned. Juicy Boy, your thoughts in this one?
Yeah, so my thoughts are a little bit different than yours, but I'm going to try to run through them as quickly as I can here. I actually wrote some stuff down here. I liked the idea of the Hardy Boys taking on the team which is considered the modern day equivalent of the Young Hardy Boys. I don't necessarily agree with the comparison, but that's the general comparison, is that the Young Bucks are today's high-flying, 100 miles a second tag team, as the Hardys were back in the day. I was interested to see how the dynamic would go between these two. The Hardys at the later stage of their career, the Young Bucks still in the prime of their career, but in my opinion, probably nearing towards the end of their prime, unless they want to start changing a little bit of how they work in the ring, because you are definitely right about the timing. I like that the Young Bucks seemed like they were prepared to wrestle more of a traditional match here in this contest. Not everything felt as choreographed and predetermined and mapped out as Young Bucks matches normally do. However, there was still a lot of it. I absolutely hated the super kick spot and the Hardys on their knees and letting themselves be kicked in the face. Go fuck yourselves, all four of yous. I don't care who you are. That was a stupid spot. To me, that's what I wrote here. All right, I want to just put a quick shout out into my man Brandon Cutler. I love the spot where Cutler got his head slammed into the turnbuckles with the deletion posts and then got his head kicked off with the accidental penalty kick by Nick Jackson. I thought that was good. He made the most out of his little spots there at ringside. There was actually a reason for Brandon Cutler to be involved in the match. I've got to think that was probably a Hardy Boys call to get him involved in that way as the manager on the outside. Shout out to Nick Jackson for also selling the Brandon Cutler chant that the audience started doing. Because, if there's an opportunity to get Cutler a little bit more over, then why not take it? I like that shit, Hustle after it. Getting to the end here, the standouts in this match for me were the two Matts. I felt that Matt Hardy and Matt Jackson held this thing together. I felt that Nick Jackson was definitely... it just felt like he didn't have it there this evening for this match. Nick Jackson in particular. I just felt like he was half a step behind where he wanted to be, and Jeff Hardy was also half a step behind. So when Jeff and Nick Jackson were both in the ring, it was just clear as day that, they weren't quite connecting everything. I thought it was really fucking stupid how Nick Jackson just waited there and stood there while Jeff lumbered up to the top and hit that whisper in the wind. They should have filled that in with something else if Jeff was taking a bit of extra time to get there, because that looked stupid. It looked like Nick Jackson just waited there for like a minute and a half to take the whisper in the wind. And then, overall, this did get better as it went along. I really enjoyed the whole stuff on the outside with the super kick and just the stuff that happened at ringside there towards the end. I thought it was starting to pick up by that point, but too little too late. Overall, I'm going to give this match a B-, not because I think that it was actually probably that quality, but just because, I feel like overall it kind of delivered as being a fun tag match, but still a little bit too much BS for my personal taste.
Let's move forward. TBS Championship. Jade Cargill takes on Anna Jay. Jade 31-0, still the TBS champion. DJ Juicy Boy, what did you think?
Yeah, fuck. Well, Anna Jade definitely has the potential to be a star. I think Jade Cargill already has star power written on her, similar to like what we saw with the MJF Wardlow match. Obviously, Anna Jay's beautiful. She carries herself very well, and you can see with each match that she has, when they give her a chance to actually have a match, that she's doing her best to learn things. This match, for most of it, I actually enjoyed it a fair bit. I thought that they kept it simple, kept it basic, heel versus face. They didn't try to overcomplicate it, and that worked in this match's favor until we got to the end. Then they had to do the interference, and Ember Moon from WWE is now in AEW. Who fucking gives a shit? The whole thing at the end with Anna Jay being distracted while she's on the top rope, and then the positioning into the jaded slam at the end was really awkward, and just you could tell poor Anna Jay was just up there trying to. Kudos to her for actually putting her own safety ahead of everything else and not just going for it. Like she, made sure she had her footing and everything like that. But they put her in an awkward position by designing the finish that way, so that the audience was like, "Oh shit, there was some interference." Now we're looking straight back over here at the turnbuckle, where the two ladies are still positioned, trying to pull off this spot to go into the finish. And it was one of those things where it didn't quite, the timing wasn't there, and it took away from the quality of this overall. I'd give this match a C-. I was going to go for a D+, but I feel like Jade Cargill's got the star power. She's got the it factor. I felt like both ladies worked hard, but they were screwed over by not having a good agent or booker. Like the NWA has Jazz working with the women. AEW needs a Jazz, like, for their women's division. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody like that, or a Sarah Del Rey, Sarah Amato, someone to kind of help them structure these things, like, a bit better.
Or Fit Finlay.
Yeah. You need to take a hike, pal.
You need to take a hike, pal. This pay-per-view needs to fucking take a hike, bro. Look, I'm always pumped when Anna Jay comes out, of course. Why, I'm a hot-blooded male, of course. One thing I thought, their entranceway was shit. I thought that Double or Nothing was supposed to be their kind of like their WrestleMania, right? It's like their big. This is the first show that AEW ever had was Double or Nothing. I really thought that the entranceway might look spectacular. Instead, it just looked like fucking dynamite. Jade is so fucking green. There's so many little things she doesn't do. Like when you're on the top rope and you get knocked, you actually got to go down on your fucking ass and hit the fucking turnbuckle.
Yeah.
She got hit and she just kind of just didn't do anything. There's the little fucking laws of all the things that you do. There are so many things that she misses, and it's not her fault, but they put her in this position. She needs more fucking training, bro. I thought she was all over the fucking place in this matchup.
She can do the moves. She can do the moves and carry herself, but she can't really put it together in between those moments.
Yes, bro. The interference, yes. There was a big kick from Jay to Anna Jay, which was fucking sloppy. Then there was the Anna Jay fucking Russian leg sweep with a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
Then she kicks out. One thing about Jade Cargill, she's strong, but she has no power, no oomph when she fucking hits maneuvers on people. There's no power behind it. Yes, she's strong, but it's just the execution of so much shit just doesn't fucking get pulled off correctly, because I just feel like her power isn't there. There's no precision to the strength that she utilizes.
Mm-hmm.
3 times in this matchup, Anna Jay's in the corner, and Jade does this fucking dreadful looking jumping elbow into the corner and misses.
Yeah.
It's rookie. You look like a rookie.
Looks fake. It just looks fake.
It does look fake.
You know what? I know we want to keep it short here.
Please let me get through my notes. I'm sorry, we're only at match number fucking 3.
Right, fine.
I know you're stoned, but let's do this, okay?
I'm not even.
Jade.
Really.
Okay, good. Jade forgets about her facial expressions all the fucking time, because you can see that the wheels are ticking over. She's trying to think of what the next spot is.
Yeah.
Malcolm Bivens, I can't remember what the other name he has now is.
I don't know. I hardly
He
noticed.
comes out. The Avalanche Jaded looked very fake because I don't think that they needed to do that. I don't think they needed to do it off the second rope. I think maybe Anna Jane just needed to be distracted by this bloke at ringside, and Jade just comes from behind, hooks the arms, and then fucking nails it. I know it looks spectacular and all that off the second rope, but just the way it just looked fake. Statlander makes the save. Athena makes her debut, another woman to get lost in the shuffle. During the showdown between the two teams, Anna Jay's no longer selling. She just got fucking dropped off the second rope onto her fucking face, and she's standing there like nothing happened. What they had, I think, Johnny Hungy come out as well, with Mark Sterling and all that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tony's trying to think of, okay, how do I debut Athena? How do I debut Bivens? How do I do this? The way all of this was written was incredibly sloppy, and the way it was put together was sloppy. Very beginner's booking 101, as I've talked about in the past with Tony Khan. It is very, very elementary. He's trying to think of a way to make this happen, and this is how he puts it together, and it comes across fucking messy. That's my fucking opinion. Happy for Athena to have a job, happy for Bivens to have a job, but fuck, it's just, to me, that was just eye-openingly fucking sloppy, the whole fucking thing. And I feel bad for Jade and Anna Jade, because I think they probably could have had a good match, but
they came out looking the worst from the whole thing. You're right. Yeah.
All right, next matchup, House of Black against the Death Triangle, because fuck, man, of course you have a 13 match card because you've hired so many fucking people, and you have to have all these fucking multi-man matches so you can fit everyone in on the fucking card. It's just too much. Fucking 13 matches, and several of them have like multiple people in matches, multiple teams, multi-teams, fucking intergender tag teams. Just too much. I'll get through these notes very quickly. Malachi was the talk of the company at one point, and now he's stuck in six mans. I liked it once Brody King got in the ring, and he utilized some of that strength and brutality. Tags don't matter in this matchup. It's always that bald ref that's in these matches where the tags don't fucking matter.
Knox,
Impressive athletic stuff between these two teams, but what does it mean? It meant nothing to me. I'm not hate watching. I gave All Out a 9 out of 10 last year, so shut up. Putting Malachi on Buddy's shoulder and then kicking the leg for the power bomb was annoying. It's just spots like that. It's just, it's fake. It's fake. Nice double dives to the outside. Dives one after another. The crowd are losing it. They lose it over these dives, but it's spots like that kind of fuck me off, especially when Brody King fucks the final dive and barely fucking makes it over the fucking ropes. How many fucking super kicks do we need to see? This is just spots. Commentators can't even remember who's legal. Lights out. Who's debuting now? No one's debuting, but Julia Hart joins the House of Black after months of build-up. That was fine. I wasn't offended by it, but I think everyone was probably hoping when the lights came back on, the House of Black had another fucking guy join the fray. But they win, of course. They should have won. Your turn.
Yeah, I have even less to say than you, and I'm angry about it than you as well. I think you were too nice to that match. Like, this match fucking sucked. This match was difficult for me to get through even on skim mode, where I was very liberal with the use of the 5-second button. Okay? Every single second of this match was absolute nonsense that made no sense, except if you were 6 guys in a training match trying to pop everyone else at the school with all the crazy shit that you're going to do at the end of a training session. This had no business being in front of a live audience. It had no business being on pay-per-view. The commentators, Jim Ross especially made fun of things all throughout the night. You can tell that he's just had a guts full of it. But this match here, there was probably 5 or 6 different occasions where he openly mocked with derision what was going on. And who can blame him? It was an insult to the audience's intelligence. 6 guys that are fine athletes, capable of wrestling very good matches. But you know what? It doesn't mean shit because aside from the fact that for some reason they're all in a team, respective teams with each other, there's absolutely no reason for this fight to be happening. There's no reason for Brody King to be in the House of Black except that he has lots of tattoos like the other guys. The Judgment Day over in WWE is doing the House of Black better than the House of Black is. Julia Hart becoming a member of the House of Black. Who fucking cares? I'd have left her with the Varsity Blondes, quite frankly, and just kept them doing the tag team thing for quite a while. I'm giving this whole thing a fucking F. It was absolute shit. Like shit. Like it made me angry. Like the longer it went on, the more stuff they did, the more I started getting annoyed. The more the crowd cheered at it, the angrier I was. That's all I got to say. It fucking sucked. It fucking sucked.
Yeah, I don't agree with Julia turning this quickly because the Varsity Blondes never fucking did anything or did any fucking meaningful angles other than Pillman Jr. putting over MJF at Arthur Ashe. That group never fucking did anything that meant anything. There was no story there that makes it meaningful when one of them turns. Anyway, moving forward, the fucking Owen Hart tournament, men's final, Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. Go for it, bro.
This match fucking sucked as well. This match was a fucking disgrace. Not in terms of the guys that were in it or the stuff that they were doing. It was just absolute fakery. Samoa Joe is 2.5 times the size of Adam Cole. Adam Cole looks like he is getting smaller by the day. Imagine if you took a wrestler that was smaller than Rey Mysterio and tried to dress him up and show off his body the way a Triple H or a Batista does, and that's who you have when you've got Adam Cole in the ring. He can do plenty of stuff within the ring, but he doesn't look like a star. He looks like a trainee, like a wrestling student, doing stuff out there, borrowing his older brother's trunks. Absolute disgrace that Samoa Joe didn't end up winning the match because Samoa Joe epitomizes going out there, with grit and professionalism and getting it done in the ring. That's what Owen Hart used to do as well when he was at his best. So I was annoyed that Adam Cole won the match. I thought that was the first major problem with this. You bring Samoa Joe in a few weeks ago. Probably a few months by now, but they've had him in there for a little while, used him like absolute shit since he's been here. They've already blown off Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy by making it a match within this tournament. I'm thinking Samoa Joe versus Eddie Kingston or something like that. They've got him losing at this big pay-per-view to Adam Cole in the Owen Hart Men's Cup final. I thought it was crap. I'm giving it a D+. It was really disappointing. 2 fucking shit matches in a row because of the booking.
The one positive from this was Mike Chioda was refereeing the match, which was nice to see. Good to see an actual fucking pro referee out there. Hopefully he had the chance to have conversations with their referees throughout the night and teach them a little bit and bring them to the fucking learning tree. More super kicks from Adam Cole here. Fans with the Mike Chioda chant during the finals of the Owen Hart tournament, fucking shut up.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons I fucking hate watching AEW, because these fucking fans don't shut the fuck up and be fucking appropriate. Fucking hell. I don't buy an extended heat from Adam Cole on Joe. I don't care what you do. I don't buy an extended heat from him. It's so stupid. Look at the fucking size of Joe. I'm really, really don't want to be negative, bro. I don't, but fucking
There
hell.
was nothing positive about this. There was nothing.
Why is it when I watch an Impact pay-per-view, I am overjoyed with everything that fucking happens? I never went into watching Impact hoping for it to be something that I liked. I looked at it with a critical eye, and I find myself enjoying most of Impact's pay-per-views. But then I see shit like this, and it drives me up the fucking wall, especially with Adam fucking Cole clapping his fucking leg so fucking obviously. It's almost as bad as Rich fucking Swann. They shouldn't have had interference in the tournament final of the first Owen tournament. Okay, they shouldn't. Yeah. Joe should have fucking won. They had the heel win the cup with an anticlimactic finish. Let's move forward to the women's final. Britt Baker, DMD against Ruby Soho. I will fucking get through these notes as quick as possible. It was cool to see Rancid playing, but I bet you these nerd fans don't know one other song by them other than her theme song. I had to skip most of her entrance because not only were they shooting the band terribly and cutting too quickly from shot to shot, I hated seeing the fans rocking out like they know how to rock out. You don't know how to fucking rock out. Fuck you. You're a bunch of fucking nerds, and it annoys me. I was already tired at this point, and it's still 3 hours left. The crowd have been fucking terrible and lazy all night with their chants, with the Let's Go Ruby DMD chants. I was bored. Fucking Britt Baker's trying to get the lockjaw in, and Ruby's got her mouth wide open, and she's trying to hold back from it. Close your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Then she fucking tries to lock in the sharpshooter and fucking botches the living fuck out of it. If you don't know how to fucking lock it in, don't fucking do it.
You squat down. You don't kneel on one knee. You just squat down. And if you can't squat down that low while holding the weight, that's fine.
This happened several times throughout the show, bro. Not only that, and I'll get to it with Serena Deeb, but no one knows how to lock in a sharpshooter. Fucking Darby Allin. Like, it happened 3 or 4 times. Punk wrapped the legs the wrong way. Why is it that me here from Perth, Western Australia, why is it that I know exactly how to fucking lock in a sharpshooter, and I can lock it in a guy like Mike Massive, pro wrestler from here in Perth, lock it on him the first time I fucking try it on him, and I don't fucking fall over, and the guy's 400 pounds, and you fuckers can't even do it to people that are your own fucking weight class. Unbelievable. Fuck, man, it's not hard. Wait for them to turn first before you step over. You don't do it at the same time because the weight distribution fucks up your balance. It's fucking easy. Anyway, when she did that, because I thought Ruby was going to win, I was like, fuck that. Ruby, I love you, but like, I want Britt to win this now. Then Britt did win. And dude, I fucking hated the ceremony. I don't know what, to me, it just felt weird. It didn't feel right. Of course, Tony Khan walks Martha Hart out. I didn't enjoy it. I skipped a lot of it. I was just like, this feels weird. It feels like you're just doing this to rub it in fucking WWE's face. To me, and there's people in the crowd crying and shit. It's like, look, full fucking respect. I love Owen Hart. He's one of my fucking favorites. But Jesus fucking Christ, he died in 1999. It's a tragedy, but fuck, how many other fucking tragedies have there been? And it's great to have him like get put up on a pedestal, but all these years later, I just don't think it's right. I just think that they're doing it for the wrong reasons, as far as I'm concerned. Fuck, I don't know. What did you think of this match, bro?
This was the better of the 2 Owen Hart Cup matches. I think that like Britt Baker and Ruby Soho carry themselves like stars. They have the look of stars. They look like people that you'd take notice of if you saw them out and about in your everyday life. This match was kind of meh. You know, it was an all right match. It didn't blow me away like some of the other matches I've seen from Britt Baker on pay-per-view. I felt like it was a bit of a humdrum match. I'm going to give the match itself probably another C-. I also am in agreement that I don't really know how to feel about the ceremony. Like Martha Hart herself, as in a vacuum, class act, you know, obviously a lovely woman, like clearly very intelligent, beautiful, well-spoken, you know, educated, like nothing against her at all. But first of all, Tony Khan, if you're going to walk the widow of Owen Hart out onto the stage at a wrestling event live on national TV, it's like the first time she's ever been on a wrestling show for a positive reason, and you're about to walk her out onto this stage in front of all those people. Put on a fucking suit. Don't walk out there in your fucking jacket and your fucking jeans and stuff. She's wearing a beautiful corsage and a nice dress, and she's got her hair done up properly like a respectable Dr. Martha Hart representing her late husband's foundation here. She's going to present these belts and this trophy. TK walks out looking like he's tweaking on Adderall. Like, you know, he just walked in from the fucking car park like 2 seconds before. Didn't like it. I felt like it would have been much more appropriate to have Jim Ross walk her up there or somebody like that.
Mark Henry, bro.
Mark Henry, someone that's actually got a history with Owen Hart. Mark Henry, definitely. Quick shout outs. I know we're trying to blow through this, but quick shout outs to Adam Cole and Britt Baker. I thought they handled themselves really nicely up there on the podium with her. I thought that the audience themselves, even if I don't necessarily feel like the tournament sits right with me in terms of AEW, I'll just say it, regardless of what Martha Hart herself feels personally, and I can't disregard that. But for me as a fan, this tournament does not belong in AEW. It would be better suited to a place like Impact Wrestling, where the guys and girls go out there and fucking get the job done.
And they're based in Canada too. So
yeah, that's right. This product, AEW, it seems antithetical to what Owen Hart stood for in the ring as far as a product. Yes, he was into doing all the ribs and doing all the zany stuff, but the difference was he did all that stuff in a way that the audience didn't know what he was doing. Only his opponents would see what he was doing. That's what made it funny, was that he never broke the rules of professionalism when he was working in the ring, which is all they ever do on this show. Anyway, I don't want to go into a huge tangent, but I agree with you on the whole thing. Something about it didn't really sit well for me personally, but, you know, all deference and respect to Dr. Hart. You know, if she feels comfortable with this, she seemed to appreciate the reaction that she got, so good on them. I hope that was some closure for her and a nice moment for her, but yeah, wear a suit next time, Tony. Like, I thought that was, like, Vince McMahon or Triple H would have been wearing a suit. There's no doubt in my mind.
Why does he always have to fucking stick his beak out there all the fucking time? Why can't he just stay behind the fucking scenes? Why does he always have to fucking stick his fucking head out there? He's so, I don't know how these people just fucking worship him so much. He is so fucking irritating, this cunt.
What was he saying to her when he gave her a hug? Like, what could he possibly have to say to Martha Hart? Let's move on. Let's move on.
Next up, we got another fucking multi-person match. It's Paige Van Zant, who I like. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, who I also like. Dan Lambert. Taking on Ty Conti, who I used to like. Frankie Kazarian, who I like. And Fuckhead. Bro, what did you think of this one?
This match was an absolute pile of shit. I'm not saying that because I dislike Sammy Guevara or Ty Conti. I could see what everybody was trying to do in the match. I can appreciate what they were trying to do with what they did in the match. Like, I can appreciate the idea behind it, but the execution wasn't there. The heat wasn't there. This was a match that I feel could have just been on the pre-show. I feel bad for Frankie Kazarian being stuck in this match. To be perfectly honest with you, I would have stuck Paige Van Zant in a singles match on the pre-show, or maybe earlier on in the main show, just to highlight her, because to me, she was the only thing that was really worth watching out of this match, was seeing what Paige Van Zant was going to do. The rest of it was trash, D-.
I really wasn't interested in this going into it. You know, they played hot potato with this TNT title for the last few months, which I don't mind, because I said that a little while ago. It doesn't hurt to hot potato every now and then, which I think they should have done with the tag titles over the last few months, but I'll get to that later. Sammy was fucking dreadful in this, and I'm not just saying it because I fucking hate him. I think he's incredibly overrated. I think he's cheesy.
Yeah,
I think he's terrible at acting. I don't think he's very fucking good in the ring. I think all he relies on is his fucking acrobatics.
Yeah.
And sometimes he doesn't even get that right, especially with that fucking corkscrew drop kick early in the match. The flashy springboard into the fucking cutter. You gotta just hit a cutter, bro. It's stupid.
Like, just do a cutter.
You do it just to fucking show off. And you shouldn't be doing stuff like that when you're a heel. Sorry. I like the part where Frankie called him a stupid son of a bitch, because this stuff between him and Ty during the match was so like what kind of fucking human being is that fucking stupid and deluded that like there's a fucking match that's really important here, and if you can't win this you never get a shot at the title again, and it just doesn't seem to matter to him. So why are we doing this in the first fucking place?
Yeah.
Paige Van Zandt did a good job as far as I'm concerned, as far as someone who's green, but the heat on the match was so confusing. It's like the crowd didn't really know who to go for because they've hated American Top Team for so long. But then you got Sammy, who's such a fucking dumb cunt. It wasn't laid out very well, especially when Frankie fucking bailed on them and said, go fuck yourself. But then he was back in the match. It made no fucking sense. He already bailed on them. Why does he fucking care about winning if he fucking bailed on them when it fucking meant the most? Sammy does nothing but stupid shit. Please, bro. Frankie taking the pin was bullshit. That made Frankie Kazarian look like a fucking dumb cunt because he fucking bailed and then he ended up being the one getting pinned anyway. It was a waste of time. I feel bad for American Top Team because I like the three of them. This should have been on the buy-in. It was a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, agreed.
Sorry, bro. I'm getting mad because I can see the time ticking on and I don't want to fucking this to be the end all and be all of my evening. Let's move forward. Another match that could have been on the fucking buy-in. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know the build up because I skimmed between each match, but it's Darby Allin taking on Kyle O'Reilly. I wrote, fucking hell, do we need to watch this? The show's too long. There's too many matches. It's fucking annoying. I don't have many more notes. Could have been on the buy-in. The crowd didn't care about it. Darby with one of those dives to the outside nearly fucking broke his neck. One day someone will break their neck. Jim Ross sounded bored. Another botched sharpshooter / deathlock by Darby Allin. The coffin drop onto the fucking ring apron was fine. That was cool. A nice counter from Kyle from the coffin drop later on. Kyle really, you can tell he worked fucking hard here. They both worked hard, but like this didn't need to be on the fucking show. It's too many matches. The diving knee drop for the anticlimactic win. At least I didn't see it coming, right? How about them four pillars, hey? Darby gets beaten by a guy from NXT. MJF gets squashed early on in the show. Sammy Guevara's a fucking joke. What did you think of Darby versus Kyle, bro?
Yeah, I echo your sentiments entirely with I felt like this could have either been on the pre-show or left off entirely and put onto the next episode of TV. This would have been a very serviceable, very fine television main event. Like, this was a really good match, but it was not worthy of being stuffed amongst 12 other matches on this fucking mammoth of a show. It's a disservice to both guys. Kyle O'Reilly as a newer guy that's, had some popularity back when he was in the Undisputed in NXT. Fucking Darby Allin, one of the four pillars. Wow, he was the guy that got to face Punk in Punk's return match, and now this is what they've got him doing at their big show of the year. And their other major star, MJF, like you said, they've got him putting over another. It's a mess. This didn't need to be where it was. I'm going to give the match itself a B+ because both guys worked really hard. It was very physical. But if you're going to do a match like this, you need to have some stakes. This match is the type of match that the Owen Hart men's final should have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have expected this type of match that these guys had to be the tournament final, and then the Samoa Joe Adam Cole match felt like more of a throwaway match instead of being a tournament final type feel, because these guys really worked hard, but unfortunately it was for a throwaway match. So,
it just didn't need to be on the show. I don't know what they're going to do when Miro comes back, Kenny Omega comes back.
How do we know that they're going
comes
to?
Back.
They just don't use these people, man.
And then oh no, there's Ring of Honor. Shut the fuck up. There's still too many people. Right, bro. Next up, we got still four fucking matches to go.
Yeah.
AEW Women's World Championship. Thunder Rosa, love her. Get Serena Deeb, love her too. What did you think, bro?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. I thought that this was probably ended up becoming my favorite women's match of the evening. Both ladies, consummate professionals. Few things here and there that didn't quite work out the way that they would have wanted, such as the sharpshooter. Yeah, I really feel like, to me, this was the standout women's match. Thunder Rosa is absolutely a star. I'm going to go ahead and give this a C plus as well.
I've seen Serena Deeb as kind of like she's Mrs. Reliable. I find that anytime she does something, she always comes through with the goods for me. These two really did work hard here, and this is like a match that I did enjoy, but it was kind of tainted by the fact that I was so fucking pissed off at this point in the show because just it's too long, too many matches, and too much shit fucked me off. It's messy. It's messy. I love Thunder Rosa's outfit. Aubrey Edwards again, constantly running between the fucking wrestlers. Even if she gets picked on Twitter, she still keeps doing the same shit. I felt like the commentators, who I never usually criticize, Tourny, JR, and Excalibur. I mean, I criticize him sometimes, but I thought that they didn't do a very good job tonight. I felt like, I don't know if they would, it felt like they were forcing themselves to make it seem like this is an amazing show. But I think Tourny and JR just weren't that interested. When they're both in the figure four and they're slapping each other back and forth, that was good. Wish Excalibur would shut the fuck up about DraftKings. Serena Deeb hits the Deeb tox on Thunder Rosa, but then scoots her over to the ropes before going for the pin, giving away the fact it was going to be a rope break. Then she went for the cloverleaf and she fucking fell over again. And I got fucking so angry. I was like, man, of all people, I expected you to fucking be fine with locking in this move that you've done a million times. The other people, I don't expect them to get it perfect because they don't do it all the time. But you always do the cloverleaf, Serena. You just let them turn first, then step over. Fuck. It was a nice superplex, followed by the Fire Thunder driver. It was a good win. Dragged a little bit. And I kind of wanted a fucking title change, to be honest with you, because I don't know. I just wanted something that I wasn't expecting. And I knew Thunder Rosa was going to retain. Okay, let's get to the next fucking one. I've got to try and get through this as quick as possible.
Yeah, come on.
I fucking hated this. Anarchy in the arena.
Let's blow through it.
The brawl begins during the entrances. The music kept fucking playing. I was like, please don't tell me that's playing the whole match. The fucking scooter that Moxley and Jericho got on wouldn't move. They call it Anarchy. I call this a fucking mess. AEW production aren't good enough to shoot this. 5 different things going on in different locations. No, it was a fucking nightmare. I was pumped when Jericho smashed the thing and turned off the fucking music. There was a table spot that was awesome, but it's in a sea of crap. Garcia with a nice little pile driver on the stairs, but there was no sound effects to it, so that hurt the whole point of it. You want to hear that bang, so maybe they needed to mic that shit up. I don't know, but whoever took that pile driver was either Santana or Ortiz. I can't remember, but they should have been out of the match for the rest of the match. A pile driver on fucking steel stairs. Come on, your neck's broken. Commentators were trying so hard to fucking put this over. Jericho locks in fucking walls of Jericho on the table and it collapses. Moxley with a suicide dive, not a tope suicida. Shut the fuck up, Excalibur. This is awesome chant, but it's a fucking mess, you bunch of idiots. I don't know what is wrong with you fans, but it's like you force yourself to be like, no, this is really good. This is really
brainwashing,
good.
man. Whatever.
They can't allow themselves, bro, to just be like, you know what, this is actually kind of shit. This had to go on forever, didn't it? The double splashes through the tables would have been awesome if the lighting was better. They got me with a second knee from Danielson into the chair into Jericho. I thought that might have been the finish, but I knew the heels were going to go over because we just had, the babyface go over. Tony's very predictable. Danielson gets choked out, of course. He doesn't get pinned because we constantly have to protect every single person on the roster from actually losing a fucking match properly via pinfall. Okay, bro, what did you think of this fucking absolute garbage mess of a match?
I was thinking basically, okay, when the song Wild Thing kept playing, at first I thought it was some sort of problem, like they just haven't gotten the signal yet to take it off in the arena. Then as it's going on for longer and longer, I'm like, no, they're not trying to recreate the New Jack thing of playing the music the whole time and then give it to John Moxley as if he's the one that's hardcore enough to carry on that tradition of having his music playing throughout the whole match.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is music that he stole from Onita. When they played it a second time, I immediately skipped through about 15 minutes of it to see when the music stopped, and then skipped back to the point after the music had stopped and continued watching from there. This was an absolute train wreck. It was absolutely poorly conceived, poorly laid out, poorly shot, poorly lit, poorly called by the announcers. The announcers made themselves look silly. You know, it's one thing when the announcers are there, it's their job. They're going to make it look like AEW is where it's at as far as wrestling's concerned. Good. I want that. I enjoy a bit of Tony and Jim Ross. But them putting over this match as if it was anything to be pleased with made them look silly because you knew that they were lying through their teeth. I mean, even Excalibur, you could tell Excalibur even thought that this was stupid, that they were having to that they were struggling to see what was going on. Could they imagine how the people at home felt fucking trying to watch it? It was everything that is absolutely wrong with what people think they miss from the Attitude Era. If you want to go and look and find out what people actually miss from the Attitude Era, then you go back and watch Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania Night 1 this past year. And watch the way that was covered as they fought through the arena and around the arena and made their way through the different areas and stuff like that. That's how you cover an all over the arena, anything goes type match. This was absolute trash. Chris Jericho was the worst offender of everyone. It's like it really feels like he genuinely believes that this is like the best work of his career. You know, like it genuinely feels like when he's doing it, like he takes a lot of pride in it and he's like one of the main forces behind going, yeah, guys, let's do this. It'll be crazy. We'll get so much attention on social media because he's quite happy to sell out the principles of the wrestling business as long as Chris Jericho, continues to be a relevant name, even though he just isn't. He's not relevant at all. Speaking of irrelevant, Jake Hager, what the fuck are they doing with him? I could go on and on and on. It was a waste of Santana and Ortiz. It was a waste of Daniel Garcia. It was an incredible fall from grace for Bryan Danielson. This is what they've got him doing now. This is the guy that beat Triple H at WrestleMania 30. This guy wrestled Roman Reigns and Edge in the main event of last year's WrestleMania. Now this is what he's doing. John Moxley, former WWE champion, former AEW champion. They've got him doing this. They've got him stuck in the walls of Jericho through a flimsy table that then breaks while they're still in it. Only an instant after the camera actually noticed that it was happening and they cut to it. This was the most atrocious. I'm sorry, man. I know we're trying to wrap up, but this was the most disgusting thing on this show. This exemplified everything that's wrong with AEW. As soon as it was over, I just couldn't wait for this fucking review so I could just tell everybody out there how much I fucking hated it. And I'm giving it a fucking F-. This is going to get a reverse recommendation. Do not go out of your way to watch this because it will make you want to slit your own wrists. It fucking sucked.
I can't believe how much I hated this pay-per-view, bro. I'm sorry, everyone out there. If you're an AEW fan, you probably haven't fucking continued watching this. But
I'm not sorry. I had to sit there and watch this.
This was shit, dude. This was such a mess. Everything was a fucking mess. Too many matches, too much shit going on. Rush debuts with Andrade. Cool. Good work, Tony. Keep hiring people. Oh, yeah, they've got Ring of Honor. They haven't even got a fucking TV deal, so shut the fuck up. I had to skip the Men of the Year interview backstage, and they were trying to clean shit up, but I didn't have time to fucking sit there and watch them talk about something that probably means nothing. Dante Martin fucking interrupted, didn't they? Great.
It was the same crap they always talk about, bro.
Fucking triple threat tag title match. We only got one at Revolution, and now we have to put up with one here.
I'll be real quick. I'll go first. I'll be real quick. This fucking sucked as well. to put this after that atrocious Anarchy in the Arena debacle that we just saw pissed me off even more. The fact that you had Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus win the match, pissed me off even more because it was time for a tag team title change here in this match. Everyone that was watching wanted a tag team title change. Nobody wanted to see Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus win the match. The finish that they did was botched, even though they've done the move hundreds of times by this point. This was the first match ever where Luchasaurus actually looked like somewhat of a threat. What a shame that, their tag team's already starting to run its course. So much for being one of the 4 pillars. Hey, Jungle Boy. Because look where he is right now. There's no heat or interest on him at all. This was absolutely atrocious. Again, I could have just done without this. By this point in the show, this show had already worn out its welcome going into the Anarchy in the Arena match. You know what I'm saying? Only in the little bubble that these AEW diehards live in is it still exciting to be watching a show 3 hours in and only being in the middle of it, seemingly. Why we had a triple threat tag team title match at this point in the card after everything else that we've seen, and why the Hardy Boys or the Young Bucks or, say, the Varsity Blondes aren't involved in that tag team title picture for some reason, even though they're teams. They're coherent tag teams that feel like teams. Where's FTR? Where are all these other guys?
Why the fuck weren't they on the pay-per-view?
This is what's on offer. This is what's on offer for the tag division, though, Carl. This was what they gave us. This was like the 11th match or some shit on the show. Fucking ridiculous. D-. Let's move on.
Yeah, when it started, I was like, here comes another spot fest. Here comes another match where the referee's not going to give a flying fuck about the tags. I wanted a title change. I wanted Hobbs and Starks to fucking win. I wanted Team Taz to get something because you give them nothing.
Yeah. They look the best in this match too.
Gets more than Hobbs and Starks. They should have won this fucking match and they should have won the tag titles. Even if they drop them in a month, that's okay because this fucking tag team Jurassic Express has had it way too fucking long.
It's like they're making comparisons between Will Hobbs and Hacksaw Butch Reed. Well, that's pretty disrespectful that you've got Hobbs being treated like a jobber in this match, if that's the comparison you're going to be making.
What else have I got written here? I thought Starks did a great job in this match, except for the part where, because these cunts with their fucking spots all the time, the dude nearly broke his fucking neck again. Twice the commentators have asked for a replay and they got nothing throughout this show.
Yep.
Hobbs with a sick belly to belly off the top. The best part of the match was when Keith Lee tagged the back of Hobbs just as he was all geared up to fucking do something, and he just said motherfucker, and everyone laughed about that. What do you know? There were 3 big men had a standoff and there was a pop. The belly to belly over the top by Keith and Hobbs was unnecessary and dangerous. I'm sorry. Keith's dive was very cool. But then I was like, who are even the legal men? Christian gets laid out, but then later on, Christian interferes a second time to help. And I'm like, come on, Taz. You're on commentary there. You're letting Christian fucking get involved twice. And you're just staying there. Get the fuck up and get down there, bro. I know that you've been... I know it's not real. I know he's been told that he's at commentary for this match. No, we don't know you get involved because Tony can't fucking think on his feet. If Christian's getting involved that fucking much, there's no fucking way Taz is sitting on his fucking hole at commentary. You're not coming down there and fucking choke Christian the fuck out, dude.
Should have a camera on him at the desk, at least getting annoyed at it,
I just thought it was stupid that Taz didn't get out of his seat and go down there. I thought Hobbs did the best out of everyone in this match. When the finish came, I said fucking bullshit and a waste of fucking time. What was the point of doing this? What was the point?
Exactly. It was shit.
This means nothing. You built these other 2 teams up for months for this. They just lose and that's it. There was the point in seeing them tag team together anymore after this, Hobbs and Starks or Keith Lee and Swerve. What's the point? Because you built them up and then nothing came of it. What, are they going to keep going after the belts? I guarantee you they're fucking not. Because Tony's probably got it in his mind about where he's going with the tag titles next. Because he doesn't know how to pivot when something makes sense at the time. Fucking bullshit, waste of time. Let's get to the main event of the evening, bro. I've got barely any fucking notes because I was so fucking mad at this point that I didn't give a flying fuck. I wrote, honestly, if Punk wins this, it's bullshit, but surely he wins this because we've had 0 title changes. So you gave away the finish right there as far as I'm concerned. If you had the fucking tag titles change hands, people might think, oh, maybe Hangman will fuck. They wouldn't do 2 title changes in a row. Big superplex by Punk. This match was literally the only one aside from MJF and Wardlow that had any natural heat to it. The people were actually really interested because I think a lot of people weren't sure he was going to win this. But for me, it felt like, man, Punk is winning. Punk didn't lock the sharpshooter in properly either. He got the legs wrapped the wrong way. Punk's fucking botches of the buckshot lariat. My God, bro. Fuck, it was a shame. It was a shame. He got hit with a GTS. Everyone was like, when he kicked out, and I was like, it's so obvious Punk was kicking out of that GTS. Fucking
very obvious. If anyone can kick out of it, it will be him. It will be the person that uses the move would be able to kick out of it.
There's a ref bump. Everyone's expecting interference. Hangman has this moment of, oh, should I hit him with the belt or not? It ends up costing him the match. I couldn't believe that Punk beat him. I thought it was a wrong call, and I think it sends the wrong message. If you're trying to build your own stars and not do the same mistakes that TNA Wrestling did back in the day when Dixie was in charge, when you have someone like AJ who's like, kind of a homegrown star almost, like a Samoa Joe there, but then you favor these ex-WWE guys, you're doing the exact same fucking thing here, I think. Even though Punk's a bigger name than Hangman Page, I don't know if it was the right decision, but whatever, bro. DJ Jooseyboy, tell me how you felt about the main event.
This was probably the most solid wrestling match on the card in terms of an actual match. I didn't mind Punk botching the buckshot lariat so much because it's kind of like, well, it wouldn't be something that he'd be able to just casually do just like that, because if this was real, he shouldn't just be able to do any move that he wants of anyone on the roster. So I didn't quite mind him losing his footing. I thought that everything these guys did looked laid in, and it looked like it was physical. I like the fact that Punk builds his matches around, he'll do 2 or 3 body slams, and then from there he'll start working the back, or he'll pick a body part and actually start working it from there, and the match goes on from there. And what I like about the way that Punk's matches unfold is that he goes into the match begins with Punk and his opponent wrestling their way through the match, and then Punk doesn't do spots in the match. It feels like things happen to Punk and his opponent as the match goes on organically, and then Punk is forced to react and adapt to those circumstances as they develop, as is his opponent. So they'll take a spill, and then all of a sudden, that's why they're there now, because they've taken a spill to the outside of the ring. What's going to happen now that they're in this situation? Everyone else in this company, and about 50% of everyone in WWE, they put the wheels of the match in motion. But when Punk and Roman Reigns and a few other select people like that have a match, AJ Styles, Edge, Randy Orton, the match happens to them because they actually live the moment as their characters as the match unfolds, if what I'm saying is making any sense to you here. I felt like Adam Page did that as well. I felt like he was in the moment. I felt like, he's actually he's not gone full on heel here, but he's leaning into the fan support that Punk has. I liked the bit at the end with him eventually deciding, you know what, I know the ref's down, but I'm not going to fucking use the belt. because when I first won this title and everything, I think about how many people had my back and everything, and so I'm not going to sell out. I'm going to do this the right way. That ended up costing him the win. I felt like that's actually a smart way to give Adam Page a reason to want a rematch, and also it's like a nice little touch of storytelling. Not that I'm crediting it to Tony Khan, it's an age-old booking tactic, but it was a nice use of one in which now it's like, okay, Adam Page did the right thing, but the right thing costed him in a way, because if he had have hit Punk with the belt, then he probably would still be champion right now. So is it better to take the cheap way out when you see the opportunity present itself, or is it better to do the right thing and go out on your shield fighting valiantly? I'd give the match itself a B+. I thought that the match was pretty good. Unfortunately, the length of the show that we'd seen going into this, this match could not fix the fact that this show had dragged on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Like, it just felt like it went on forever. And the best part of this to me was Punk's reaction when he actually won the belt, actually crying and stuff like that, because it actually felt like this is a big moment in this athlete's career, that it's a big deal for him after 7-8 years away now to be winning a world title in the sport of wrestling again. And I feel like he really sold that, and I feel like it was a very authentic feeling reaction from Punk of winning the belt and like, finally I'm on top in the wrestling world again. He is a star. Unfortunately, Carl, my final thoughts for this review here would be, everyone that I would love to see Punk work with right now is in the WWE or their MJF, who he's already worked with. That's the big problem with AEW right now. I'm going to just finish off my final review over here and give the final show a 4.5 out of 10. I'm rating it low. I was not happy with the overindulgence of this show. That's all I've got to say.
Oh, God. Yeah, I just want to get this over with. Yeah, the main event was the most coherent match on the show, so it was a nice way to end things, I suppose, despite some of the little botches there, but it can be forgiven. I think the MVP for the show for me was Will Hobbs. I thought he did a very good job in that tag match. Too bad that it was in that tag match. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. I just was too long, too many matches, too much shit that didn't need to be on the show. This dude who is running this company is going to fuck it up. I'm calling it now. I've called it for ages, but I'm really calling it now that Tony Khan is either going to have a fucking meltdown, or this is going to go off the rails real quick, and even some of the biggest fans are going to be like, oh, you know what? Something's not right here. Because when I saw that there was a problem with Cody Rhodes, no one saw it coming at that point. But I said, I guarantee you, eventually people are going to start noticing, and it's going to start sinking in once the fucking rose tint fucking fades away from the glasses. They're going to start seeing it for what it really is. This was a fucking mess of a fucking show. This is something that I expect WWE to put out there. But even so, that's actually fucking offensive to WWE, because they don't have as many production problems, they don't have as many botches, and they don't have any real problems with their agenting most of the time, unless it's the men's rumble from this year. But that's it. 3 out of 10. Hated the show. And I really don't really look forward to anything coming my way from them anytime soon, because I have no faith in that man to produce anything. Yeah. Especially if Ring of Honor get a TV show and he's going to be booking that too, he's fucked. He's fucked. Yeah. He can't even get this right. And if he's booking 2 products, he's fucked.
Yeah, and also disgraceful use of Christian, disgraceful use of Eddie Kingston. You know, so many people continue to be underused or were not used at all. This was fucking bullshit, and I feel like I've wasted 4 hours of my life or whatever it was having to sit through this.
It's like nearly 6 hours for us, bro, because we
Yeah.
had to record this review. Thank you so much, Juicy Boy, for putting up with this fucking show with me today. I'm sorry that we had to go through it, but thank you, bro.
No fucking worries, mate.
And thank you all out there for if you stuck through it. We were very negative, but this is how we feel. Can't fucking fake it.
Sucked.
This is how we felt.
Sucked.
Thank you for watching our review here of Double or Nothing 2022. I'm Karlifornia. This is Juicy Boy, and we will see you down the fucking road. Thank you.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking fuck it.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.